got that heat.
Hey, SMT Nation. I really hope this connection thing is fixed. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on that side. Hopefully it's worked itself out. Let me know if it's kind of settled, if things have kind of smoothed out a little bit. Let me get an audio check. Let me get a video check. So, hey, what is up, everyone? I think we're good. I think it kind of sort of stabilized, so we're good to go. I think the music's playing pretty straightforward. No disconnects, no buffer. You guys can kind of let me know. That'd be great. If it does act up, I can try to remedy it, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Good on the audio? Excellent. All right. Cesar, Tito, what is up, y'all? Info assistant. Jose, Kimon, James, Sebi, what is up? MS, Sean, Trillboy Gaming, good to have you all. Idiot Test, Vids for Fun, Bry, Apple Watts, Big Vincent, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you very much. How's the music volume? Is it good? Or should I drop it? Should I turn it up? What do you guys want? Maybe I'll just turn it down just a smidge. Hi, Gene. Good evening to you. Yeah, no problem, Nathan. I didn't turn on the video yet, so that makes sense. Just let me know how the audio is. That's all I need for now. Because I know once the audio levels out, then I know that the stream is connected well, and we shouldn't have any issues for the rest of the show. All right, Big Al, what is up? The homie Mike West is here. My Daily Side is in the house. Luis, James. James, this beat brought to you by Tana So Lit over at Beatz.club. Chosenbeats.club. Excuse me. The brother Jose, yeah, with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, bruh. What is up, Tech Twan? The homie Tech Twan's in the house. Lavendi is here. Good to have you. Mikey Tech Review dropped the super chat. Glad to see you live streaming tonight. Hey, good to be here. And thank you for stopping by. Appreciate the super chats. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting the SMT in obviously more ways than one. Whether you donate or you watch or you share or you view, however you do it, you know, it's amazing. Thank you guys for being so supportive. Before I move on with today's podcast, I would like to just mention if there's anything that you would like to become a part of at the SMT Nation, you could find all of those links in the description box. So there are, you got the Patreon link, you have the @SneedTech Twitter handle, you have the audio-only podcast links as well. We're on all the podcast platforms. Apple, Spotify, Google, the whole shebang, Anchor, and so on. So today's topics, I have some good ones for you all. Let's see. One of the topics is a company called Clearfield, and there's going to be some really good things happening on the fiber side for wireless networking. So a lot of you may not know this if you're more of a casual wireless network enthusiast, but you actually need fiber internet connectivity to run wireless networks. So even though the networks are wireless for us, they are provided internet through wires, like, fiber. So, what am I doing? Forgot to turn on my video. Yo! Sorry, y'all. Oh, man. Yeah, that's true, Lavendi. They do take their little chunky chunk. Yeah, there's other ways you could do a Venmo, you could do a PayPal, you could do, what's the other one I got? Venmo, PayPal. Is it Cash App? I don't know. They're all there. Everybody's been asking me to do all that, so. Yeah, so anyways. We got a fiber story. That one's pretty good. That's going to help 5G quite a bit. That's going to be a big boost. Another story. The second one is going to be on dynamic pricing with 5G. And the third story Where did it go? I thought I had them numbered. Oh yeah, story number 3. I'm just going to catch up, give you guys kind of my thoughts and opinions on what Verizon is doing with all of their 5G contracts. Things are looking good over there at Big Red. They're positioning themselves really well for the future and what they're going to be doing with the industry and the enterprise side. These are new revenue streams, and it's going to be really good for them. They're setting themselves up quite nicely. And so that's story number 3. And then story number 4, we'll talk iPhones a little bit. It'll be a follow-up to today's video as well. And if we have time, we're going to talk a little bit about what T-Mobile is doing with their tower sites, which is good. And it's about time. So as I normally do, I will be recording parts of this for the audio-only podcast. And but I will be involved and engaged with you guys here on the YouTube side. Right? So I got here on YouTube. I will stick to YouTube, y'all my people, and we're going to keep it that way. So big shout out to the SMT Nation. Let's do this. All right, let's start with story number 1, shall we? Okay. I got my notes. So story number 1 for today's podcast begins with a company by the name of Clearfield. What Clearfield wants to do is they want to innovate and simplify fiber handoffs for the future 5G networks. So we're talking about fiber connectivity here. Small cells are a big part of what 5G is going to be. Regardless of site type, actually, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if it's a small cell or if it's a macro site or a rooftop site. It does not matter. Fiber is key. And if you think about it, it's one of the most important factors in establishing a solid network. You could have amazing antennas. You could have amazing configuration, base units, converters, adapters. You can have all this amazing hardware. And, it's not going to make a difference if your backhaul, your internet connectivity, your fiber is not strong and is not right. So it's become a big part of what is actually making, companies like Verizon and AT&T even better at what they do. They've upgraded fiber in a lot of different parts of the country, and that's changed customers' network experience. So that being said, what Clearfield is going to do is they are going to innovate and change the fiber source application on these sites. And actually what they're going to do is they're going to change the handoff location where it goes from fiber owner operator to the mobile network operator. So where is the point that the fiber meets the wireless network operator's hardware? Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to be modifying the location on the sites moving forward. And typically the fiber handoff to the operator hardware is at the base of the macro site. So when you go to like a tower site, if you ever to get a good look, you would see there's like a protected area around the macro site. Sometimes they put gates, sometimes they put fences, sometimes there's doorways. Oftentimes, like with these fences, you can't really get access. It's very secured. But one of the things that have always been an issue is, certain places, they're not very secured. And that's one of the things that I think Clearfield is going to be working on. With 5G, the radios and the antennas are much more visibly exposed and apparent. So if that becomes an issue with security, that needs to be modified and changed. So what Clearfield did was, in order to better secure the enclosures and take care of the security aspect of these fiber connections, Clearfield has made a box. It's a completely customized, and according to them, it's proprietary. It's what they do. They specialize in it. And that box is going to, delineate the fiber to operator point. And as a bonus, this box can also be used in DAS applications and also in aerial mounts and wall mounts. So no matter how the site is configured, you can use this box from Clearfield. It's really nice when it comes to plug-and-play application. The fact that it's going to just be used regardless of the type of tower site it is, it's still going to be built up to standards. It's still going to be highly secured, and it's going to be up to code and local regulations. So they've kept all that in mind in the development of this tool. 5G is also going to create a more ideal centralized unit and distributed unit, which in turn is going to require, you guessed it, more fiber. And with more fiber requires more security of that fiber, securing it. So specifically the front and the mid-haul connections are going to be major concerns here. They're going to require additional fiber. I mean, just think about, like what these networks need to do. The latency has to be better. The channel bandwidth is going to be wider. There's a lot of reasons to need additional fiber and better quality fiber. So nice job by Clearfield here, making the fiber more readily available and more easily managed by mobile network operators. And as the demand for fiber and its management increases, it looks like companies like Clearfield are going to have big business for their operation, and they will profit. I think more and more companies are going to be coming out with solutions like this as the demand for these solutions increases. So if you are an entrepreneur out there and you are looking for a business to get into, 5G application is a huge business opportunity. Whether you are going to be, manufacturing something like this, or you're looking into offering some type of software or there is a ton of opportunity in this business. So here's a company in Clearfield that is obviously doing something in security and improving fiber for 5G. I think they're going to thrive in this place. It should be a really, really good solution. I could see AT&T, Verizon, they would probably use these types of solutions, especially T-Mobile. I think it would suit them well to have these types of solutions as well. So that's that story. Let me get a sip of water here. Your boy's a little thirsty. And let's answer a question too. Cesar, what is up, my dude? Thank you for the super chat. On Spectrum Mobile on the $55 plan, what kind of priority is it? Set, and do you recommend Spectrum Mobile, Sneed? You're not going to have high priority there, Cesar. Unfortunately, MVNOs kind of get placed bottom tier priority. It's right there with the prepaid segments. And actually, from what I've seen, based on the payment, options and the way that those things are configured in the deals, MVNOs often have lower priority than even the MNOs prepaid. So, for example, like H2O Wireless, which I think is AT&T's, is an MVNO, they would have lower priority than even Cricket, right, which is an AT&T MVNO. So, your priority is not going to be very high. Your speeds will be deprioed. You're definitely going to have like a throttle point, right, where you reach like a threshold. Well, you'll probably be slowed down to like 3G or some reduced version of the network. So just keep that in the back of your mind, and making a decision about switching. Your network priority is definitely not going to be very high. So, thank you for the question, and thank you for the super chat. Hopefully I answered your question. If there's other things you want to ask about it, you feel free to do so. DM me on Twitter, hit me on the Patreon if you want. I can kind of help you with that as well. So, yeah, that takes care of that. So that's story number 1, Fiber and Clearfield Company. Cool. All right, so I got that taken care of. Okay, so that's story number 1. Let's move on to story number 2. Where's my notes? There we go. All right. Got it. Okay, so story number 2. 5G. We just got done talking about fiber and the demands and things like that. Okay, so 5G is going to offer new pricing models. And I did a video on this last week. Maybe it was the week before. I lose track of things sometimes. There's going to be what's called dynamic pricing. I don't know if all carriers are going to do this. I don't know if it's going to be consumer side. I don't know if it's going to just be enterprise. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm pretty sure that Dish Wireless is definitely going to be utilizing this. I would be surprised if AT&T didn't. I think AT&T does, and I also think Verizon does. And who knows, maybe T-Mobile has a place with this as well. I don't know. It goes against their uncarrier principles, as they would call it, but I don't know, maybe they see fit for it. I actually don't see it as a bad thing. So the question with dynamic pricing is, how do mobile network operators like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, how do they profit the most? How do they develop an enterprise pricing plan to get the most out of their dollars, right? So when businesses are spending money with these mobile network operators, how do they create tiers of access and distinguishable 5G experiences depending on what the customer needs? So let's say, like, for example, you are a VR firm, right? And you know, you get clients that come in and go through these different VR and AR training sessions for whatever the industry is. Maybe it's flight education or trials or something. I don't know whatever it could be. What's going to be required is, you know, these carriers are going to have to develop and pretty much fine-tune 5G network cores that are going to create really flexible, really unique billing and network access tools. So, and big shout out to Kathy. Thank you for the super chat, as well as Smoking Choking. Appreciate the super chat. Hashtag Sneed Army. Yeah, buddy. Thank you, man. Appreciate that super chat. Amazing. You guys are awesome. I know that with LTE and with like 4th generation networks and legacy cores and network operations, they just really couldn't do this. So with LTE and these older technologies, 3G included, there was no efficient, effective, or proper way to actually do any type of dynamic pricing. They couldn't do it. All right. So with 5G network cores, they definitely can. It's going to actually be very easy to do so. You know, completely automated, artificial intelligence based network cores. It'll be as simple as a couple of clicks probably. All right. Dish is planning on doing this right off the bat. The news of the Matrix software contract and partnership arrived a couple of weeks ago. I updated the patrons. I think I also brought it here to the YouTube side, so we're aware of that. A lot of people are basically saying that this dynamic pricing is going to hurt consumers because what it's going to do is going to create scenarios where there's like surge pricing. For those of you that don't know what surge pricing is, this is the same type of surge pricing that was happening with like Uber. So like for those of you that are aware, maybe you've taken Uber real late at night. It's like 3 a.m, all the bars are closing, and you want to go home. Well, so does everybody else that's at those bars. So the pricing of the rate on the ride increases exponentially. So let's say the going rate, your ride would have cost you $10 to get home. Well, if it surges 2x, you're going to pay 20. And if it surges 3x, you're going to pay 30. And that's where this surge pricing component comes in. People are having serious doubts that the dynamic pricing is going to help customers. They think the dynamic pricing is going to hurt them. And the way that they're saying this is that in the case of like a surge where it's like 2x, 3x, and 10x, depending on the time of day, depending on the network traffic, you might have to pay a more premium access for your gigs of data and your usage. And that's not even before we get into areas like network slicing and guaranteed access to a specific metric. Maybe you have to have, sub 5 millisecond ping, right? If you're running some type of competitive online gaming platform. And who knows, maybe a company like Dish charges you an additional $5 or $10 as an add-on to have that additional access or to have the better access, a guaranteed speed, a guaranteed latency during all times of the day. In my opinion, though, if the add-on is $5 or $10, that's not so bad. Like if you could have guaranteed access no matter what the time of day or what the network, traffic is like, I feel like that is to their advantage. I think carriers would be smart to do that, right? So you upsell a little bit to guarantee a certain type of access to your customers. And I think especially this comes into play in situations where it's enterprise based, because in business and enterprise, they get priority when it comes to network access. Look at like business grade customers on AT&T. They get treated like kings and queens when they go in the store. Everybody puts everything down for the business grade customers because they usually pay more for the service. And they're expected that they're going to pay their bill on time every month. They don't go anywhere. All right. So they do get preferential treatment in a way. I also think that with this dynamic pricing, you're going to see speed-based tiers. Maybe there's going to be a model where you're paying for like gigabit speed maybe like a tier 1 access or something like that. Maybe, another tier might be like 300 megabit per second to 600 megabit per second. So you're guaranteed up to 600 megs per second. Your floor might be like 300 megs. So they give you some kind of an operating range. Big Al, thank you for your super chat, bro. Big shout out to Alka So Real. Do check out his YouTube channel, Alka So Tech. All right, so do check that out. The other thing I could see happening here is, the latency piece. A lot of what 5G is going to be offering is latency. That's going to be a big part of what 5G is about. So one of the things that's missing from LTE and 4G is the fact that latencies are kind of stuck where they're at. If you get a 15 millisecond ping with LTE, you're doing good, and it's really hard to get down any lower with LTE. That's where 5G comes into place. So I think certain pricing models are going to work for the enterprise side. I don't know if surge pricing and these other things are going to work for consumer-based plans and vice versa. I think carriers would be smart to try different things and then see what works, and then pivot and adjust if certain things aren't working out, So, in the case of automation, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, they need this ultra-low latency the 5G can bring. Maybe there's certain tiers of access and certain types of pricing models that work better for carriers and their enterprise and consumers. So I could see situations where like a customer needs to do a lot of file transfer, large massive files. They need wide channel bandwidths, right? Lots of speed. In the case of like an uplink model, virtual meetings, Zoom calls, live streaming, demo-focused access, you could specialize and cater to their network needs. And then maybe there's a gaming model that you build, right? Or a gaming plan. Ultra-low latency, and whatever else that they would require. So with 5G network cores, along with this dynamic pricing model, I think there's a lot of flexibility in 5G. We'll see what this brings to the market. I think Dish is going to be a trailblazer in this. I think AT&T will be as well, and I think Verizon will too. And to a lesser extent, T-Mobile, because I just don't think they're as far along as the other carriers are when it comes to their 5G network plans and their 5G billing plans. I think the other carriers are much further along than they are. So yeah, that kind of wraps up that topic. That wraps up story number 2. And that's an interesting topic. I mean, that's the type of topic I could talk about for days. Yeah, the surge pricing piece, Levendi, is kind of touchy. People don't like to have their access managed like that, but I don't know if it's going to work for consumers like you and I, but for enterprise, I think it's legit. I think that could be a situation where that could work. All right, so we got story number 2 out of the way. We did story number 1. What else we got here? Let's see. Oh, this actually was from the video from today. So, if you didn't watch the video, no problem. I highly recommend you do watch it. All right, so there were 2 topics that were discussed. The first one was a Verizon and Twitch deal. And for those of you not aware, Twitch is a company that is owned by Amazon, and we know that Verizon does have a deal with Amazon pre-existing. I had a video about that a few weeks ago, this web-based application service that they've already started testing in a couple of markets. And then the other one, we'll talk a little bit about the iPhone, and then we'll wrap things up with T-Mobile news. So this next piece, this Verizon deal. Verizon has a deal with gaming platform Twitch, an Amazon-owned company. We know that Amazon and Verizon do have connections. They do have pre-existing partnerships. And this particular partnership is an LTE and 5G partnership with its video game tournament platform. Verizon puts competitive gaming on its map with this deal. And there are a couple of other gaming deals in place with Verizon. Now add Twitch. So this is a Twitch and Verizon connection. I think this is going to be some form of a partnership that is going to utilize a low latency and high speed connection that's specifically designed for media and broadcasting integrations. The slogan here in this partnership is really going to be Verizon, 5G built right, 5G built for gamers. So they're probably going to market that quite a bit. So be on the lookout for commercials incoming for this. I think you're going to see some of this. Now, Why didn't we see this with AT&T? Why didn't we see this with T-Mobile? There's a couple of reasons why. Number one, the reason you don't see T-Mobile in this is because T-Mobile is going to be focusing on non-standalone for a while. I know they did a standalone announcement, and whatever they're doing with their standalone thing, I can't comment on. I don't know anything about it, honestly. The details, I just don't have them. So I can't comment on it. But Verizon and AT&T have a clear standalone plan. They are launching standalone 5G quarter 4. Let's say that it launches in December, the end of quarter 4. Verizon, by the middle or end of Q1 of 2021, they'll be nationwide standalone. Nationwide. AT&T is going to be kind of doing phases where they launch their 5G core, probably more like market to market or even region to region. We'll say that. There's no such plan in place for T-Mobile. We just don't know. There's too much unknown. A lot of people would say, well, they must be keeping on to wraps. I personally believe they just haven't developed it enough for them to really comment on it and disclose anything. There might be some things that they will change between now and when they launch it. So we'll have to wait and see. Big shout out to Gene. Thank you for your super chat. As well as Mikey Tech Reviews. Thank you for that super chat as well. Kimon, T-Mobile having a real standalone 5G network, it's going to be a while. They're just not far along in that development, so that's why I think this deal was afforded to Verizon, and that's why Amazon had the pre-existing relationship with Verizon. So this deal clearly gives Verizon a market share, mind share in competitive gaming. I think this helps their chance of getting additional subscriptions, the users of the broadcasting and gaming services possibly switching to Verizon after experiencing and seeing how Verizon's 5G ultra wideband works. This is going to help the mind share within the markets that currently have 5G ultra wideband, and then also the ones that are getting it in the future. So I think there's currently like 36 to 39 markets with Verizon's 5G ultra wideband. There's probably going to be another 25 to 30 launched by the end of the year. So that number will be around 60 or more. And then another thing to note is if you look at what Verizon is strategically doing, they've got competitive gaming now with Twitch. They've got pre-existing relationship with Amazon. They've got a deal with Walmart. They also have a deal with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and Hulu. They've got a deal with Apple. They're probably going to have that news feed. They're probably also going to continue to do the music. Whatever services Apple has, they're in a good place with Verizon. They've got professional sports with the NBA in the arenas with 5G ultra wideband. They've got the NFL stadiums locked down. And they're also getting in these new industries with like Walmart and healthcare, like hospital systems and treatments and surgeries. Verizon's killing it. They are lining up everything for their 5G. They're creating so many new revenues, or avenues of revenues, I should say, for them to make more money. They're killing it. This is one of the things that I said several moons ago. T-Mobile has to change the narrative. T-Mobile has to get on some of these deals, or else they're going to be playing, second fiddle to the big carriers again. Just like they did in LTE and 4G, they're going to have to land some of these types of deals. I don't care what it takes. If it's education, if it's healthcare, whatever it is, they need to get some of this stuff. They really do. It's not easy to do because when people think of wireless, they think of AT&T and Verizon. But they do have to change that. In my opinion, it's going to be hard for them to change anything about their company if they can't change the way that certain business customers think of them, right? They can't think of them as second rate. They can't think of them as the magenta carrier that's not as good as the blue or the red, right? They've got to change that. All right, so that's that story. I thought that was pretty interesting. I want to give a couple of shout-outs to a couple of people, and I think I'll do that in a second. But the next story will be the Apple iPhone news. So a couple of people I want to give shout-outs to. Number one, shout-out to Henry. Thank you for the super chat. He gave a PayPal donation earlier. He's done a couple of these. Henry, thank you so much for donating. And also, big shout out to Michael. Again, another super chat donation through PayPal. Thank you all for that. You guys are the best. I do appreciate it very much. Thank you for supporting the SMT. All right. Keyman says, do you think T-Mobile will at least have lower pings on their NSA network? Yeah, they should. They should, but it's really going to be standalone that's going to really make a difference in the pings, right? For the latency to decrease, they've got to transition to a true standalone core. You can't keep falling back on LTE. It's limited. There's only so much it could do. And I have this discussion with people all the time in the comment section of my videos. 4G LTE is enough. We don't need 5G. No, it's not enough. It's not good enough. You can't get the low latency. You can't get the wide channels. And the hardware itself is just, it's going to create so many new use cases and an incredible bandwidth and excellent performance and quality of service. There's so many things that the future holds for wireless. You just can't do it with 4G LTE. No way. It's not just about speed. I didn't even mention speed. The speed is needed for capacity, but that's it. You know, and these networks are going to get more resilient with 5G. You're not going to see bottlenecking. You're not going to see the bottoming out of networks. You're not going to see, you know, the no services, you know, on the 4th of July and you know, January 1st, you know, on New Year's Eve. And who knows, the video resolution caps will be gone. And you know, not just the video resolution, but what about the hotspot data, right? That could be a thing of the past. Unlimited hotspot and high speed. So, Nick, sure, I could talk about iOS 14. I've been playing with iOS 14. Got it on one of my iPhones, actually. So, yeah, we could talk about that. No Radio says I get 11 milliseconds ping on current so-called standalone. 11, I mean, that's good for LTE, but yeah, what 5G is going to do is going to blow that out of the water. So, all right, let's pivot over to this iPhone stuff. So this iPhone news, there's like all these leaks, and you know, John Prosser of Front Page Tech, he's the king of that stuff, right? He's credible, he's always right. So I'm not trying to poo-poo him or anything, but man, stuff is just all over the place with this phone, the iPhone 12. Okay, so it's already been indicated that Apple is cutting costs. They're taking some shortcuts on the phone itself to reduce the bill of materials. The battery board is actually getting thinner, less layers. This is going to reduce cost. I hear they're doing the same technique on the AirPods, next generation AirPods. So I don't know if it'll make the price of the devices cheaper, but I do know it's going to cost them less to make. And they're going to continue to do this moving forward. So like next year's iPhone will have an even, you know, thinner layer battery board, and that'll continue to decrease pricing on that component. Anyways, that's what Apple's always going to do. They try to improve their bottom line. They're a $2 trillion company. Give them their props, right? Spade is a spade. Anyways, I want to talk a little bit about this iPhone and 5G. So and this is from Prosser, right? This is Front Page Tech. He says there's going to be 4 phones, from what I understand. iPhone 12, which is your entry-level iPhone. It'll be like, you know, the basic form factor, the smaller version, the regular one. And then there's going to be a Plus model of the regular one. So an iPhone 12 Max. And then if you want to get the Pro grade model, the iPhone 12 Pro, which will be similarly sized to the iPhone 12, but it'll be the Pro model, so it'll be, you know, higher end specifications, have, you know, better components and better performance and stuff like that. And then there'll be a 12 Pro Max, the bigger version with the bigger display. They're talking about the Pros having 120 hertz refresh rates on the display. They're talking about the Pros being all things 5G, so that would be sub-6 gigahertz, low band and mid band 5G, and then also millimeter wave compatible. I want to talk about this 5G piece. When a phone gets 5G capability, it gets this on a hardware level. That means the antenna array, which is located in the modem, right? And the antenna's arranged in a certain way. It takes some engineering, and it takes some additional hardware. Because an LTE phone didn't have those, LTE phones are technically always and theoretically going to be cheaper. So now whenever there's a phone that's a 5G variant, but they also make an LTE only one, the LTE only one's going to be cheaper. But moving forward, a lot of phones are going to start being 5G. So a sub-6 gigahertz 5G iPhone is going to incur an additional $75 to $85 cost in the bill of materials. So that means technically 5G is going to make the new iPhones more expensive. We kind of understood that. We kind of get it. From what I understand, Apple, by doing that battery board reduction, saved enough money, along with getting rid of the battery brick, the charging brick, and the headphones. They were able to offset the cost and keep the pricing pretty close. But that's really not the issue here. The issue is the millimeter wave access is an additional $125 to $135. So to make your iPhone all things 5G, low band, mid band, and millimeter wave compatible, it's adding an additional $200+ in the bill of materials. So if I'm going off of a $200 premium for 5G, you would think that the iPhone is going to increase in price. You would probably say, well, it's probably going to be like $12.99 for the iPhone 11, or excuse me, the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It'll probably cost $10.99 for the Pro, and with the other two just being sub 6 gigahertz 5G, maybe the price doesn't change. Who knows? But I don't know how this phone's going to come in cheaper than what it was last year. There's no way. Rumors from like John Prosser and Front Page Tech are saying that the pricing is going to be the same as last year's, which is incredible because Samsung made the phones $200-300 more expensive just to be 5G compatible. Go ahead and look at the Note 20 Plus, or excuse me, the Note 20 Ultra. It's $1,300. The S20 Ultra was like $1,400 back in March or February, whenever it dropped. So many of this year's Android flagships were $1,000 or more because of that 5G compatibility, right? Having that hardware. So, and then to make matters worse, because of the specialized display that they're developing, they're trying to get this 120 hertz refresh rate in the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. And obviously these from what I understand, that like the Qualcomm-based modem that's going to probably be in the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, they're getting delayed. They're getting delayed because of the modem, the Qualcomm modem, and they're getting delayed because of the refresh rate-based display, because they want that nicer display. It's all good. It's probably going to release in November. All things are pointing to a November release for the Pro models. So if you want a Pro version, whether it's the Pro or the Pro Max, iPhone 12, you're going to probably be waiting till November. And then if you're cool with just the iPhone 12 or 12 Max, that's going to be available in October. It's not going to have that advanced refresh rate. It's not going to have the millimeter wave probably. And it's probably not going to have a Qualcomm modem. It's probably going to have an Intel/Apple-based chipset. That's what I think, and that's what makes sense to me. Based on the pricing, based on the leaks and renders, based on what John Prosser says, and so on, I think that's probably what we're dealing with. But the pricing on the 12 will be better. It'll be like $649, $699, and then for the 12 Max, it'll probably be like $100 more. So to keep you under like $800, you get a 12 or a 12 Max. If you're ready to spend $1,000 or more, you're looking at the Pro or Pro Max. But the Pro and Pro Max will be better phones. They will have a Qualcomm modem. They'll be better on a cellular level. They'll be more future-proof. But you guys got to keep in mind the X60 modem that's going to be inside that Pro and Pro Max. Man, signal issues with iPhones, no more. The RF performance will be improved. It'll be probably as good as any Qualcomm-based chip that we've had up to this point. So there is some reasons to be excited, and that's a good thing, right? We do want to see the iPhone finally fix the cellular connectivity issues that the Intel chip has created. So that's that story. I'm going to take a sip of my water here. Stay thirsty, my friend. Last story, y'alls. Where's my notes? Okay. I thought I had my notes here. Here it is. Got it. Okay. Okay, y'all. Now, I didn't really want to do this on this video, but, we got some time. All right. What is it? 9:37 in the PM, August 25th, 2020. Whether you're watching this on replay or watching this in the live, hashtag 2LiveCrew, hashtag replay crew, mod squad, hashtag mod squad. If you are, you got the blue wrench holding it down for me. Appreciate you guys. Hashtag ravioli gang if you're watching this while eating dinner or you're hungry. All right, y'all. Let's do this last thing here. Okay, with this story, I want to talk a little bit about what T-Mobile's got brewing. I want to celebrate this. I want to turn this into a positive, completely positive. It looks like T-Mobile is ready to mass deploy backup generators on their cell sites. That's great news. There's no way, shape, or form you could slice that and make it a bad thing. Okay? Think about all the weather events that we've been having, the extreme weather. All right, think about, all the different natural disasters. There's outages, there's things like that. Okay. It's really good that they're giving this some attention because it's something they've neglected to do in the past. You got hurricane season upon us, all these different blackouts, utility-based power issues. It doesn't matter if you're in New York, Florida, California, wherever you are. Power outages happen all the time. You've got to have backup power. Rumors are swirling, and they're running rampant. People are running with the story that they're finally going to be giving backup power and generators to all of these different sites across the nation. I don't know how they're going to deploy it. I don't know if it's going to be a situation where they're adding it to new sites first because they're like building them. I don't know if they're going to be adding it to pre-existing sites. I don't know if it's going to be regionally based at first. I don't know if it's going to be state by state or market by market. I don't know. Is it affected areas like the Eastern Seaboard? Like it's going to go to Florida and the Carolinas first and Louisiana. I don't know. Texas area, Houston. I don't know. We don't have any details like that, but I will be looking into it. I just haven't seen anything. So, no word on deployment rate. No word on how it's going to be deployed. But I would like to say to T-Mobile, welcome to the big leagues. This is what real carriers do. Real carriers, like Verizon and AT&T, put backup generators on all of their sites. That's what they do. Now, I don't know how they're going to get their energy. I don't know if they're going to be using, fuel. I don't know if they're going to be going with natural gas. I don't know if they're going to have panels. I don't know any of that stuff. Geothermal. They could do a bunch of different things. I don't know. But welcome to the big leagues, T-Mobile. Finally stepping up and doing the right thing to ensure that their customers are going to continue to have service through natural disasters and whatever power outages that they incur. I've always said that T-Mobile at some point after the merger, so this started in April when it was approved, I said that T-Mobile has to stop acting like a little brother and grow up. And what I mean by that is start doing the same big things that the big dogs do. T-Mobile will never fail if they do like Verizon. T-Mobile will never fail if they do like AT&T. When it comes to the network, do as they do. Making their footprint larger, increasing their tower density, adding backup generators to their towers. All of those things are standard. It builds a standard of excellence for the network. So I'm glad to see that T-Mobile finally did this. I don't know what took them so long. I have no idea why it wasn't on their list of things to do. I don't know. Verizon and AT&T have been doing this for a long time. Personally, I would like to say that it's because they didn't spend the money. They either didn't have the money at the time, up until this point, and now I think the FCC is forcing the issue personally. I think the FCC has said, look, you want to stump with the big dogs, you want to avoid these fines that we're going to give you, you need to make sure that you have backup power at all your sites. Because here's what happened to me. And this is hashtag storytime with Sneed. All right, kids, gather around. Everybody sit around the circle. Time for story time with Sneed. So, story time with Sneed goes like this. In June, I was actually doing a Speed with Sneed episode. I was doing live streams. I was going like all over rural Ohio. I was in different counties. Just, checking network availability and testing speeds. I found some really weak spots for T-Mobile where they lacked coverage. They didn't even have roaming, actually. AT&T held up pretty good. They either had 3G HSPA or LTE, and Verizon had LTE the whole way, but really bad speeds. I would say it was probably a situation, these sites are just so far apart, and if they only have like a single low band, it's just the speeds aren't going to be there. So Verizon was slow on LTE. AT&T had LTE and 3G back and forth. It was all right. And T-Mobile had stretches of miles without any service. So, anyways, while I was testing this, it started storming, like something fierce. Like torrential downpour, lightning, thunder, the whole thing. It was crazy. Lightning, thunder! Power went out right when I got across county lines to my home county. No problem. All right. I'm headed home, so it's all good. Family's there. Got home. There's no power. It's all good. I got LTE, right? I look at all three of the phones I have on me. I have my Note 10 Plus with Verizon. I have my S20 Plus with AT&T. And then I have my Google Pixel 3 XL with T-Mobile. I look at my Verizon phone. LTE. Speeds usable, right? I look at my AT&T phone. LTE. 5GE, actually. Speeds usable. I look at my Google Pixel 3 XL with T-Mobile. No service. What did I learn about the T-Mobile sites in my area from that power outage? I learned that T-Mobile did not have backup power at their tower sites. And I learned that Verizon and AT&T do. So, I am very happy that T-Mobile is finally taking the time to spend the money and develop a plan that will change that situation. You do not want your power going out and then not have LTE. Because if the power is out, you don't have Wi-Fi unless your home has a generator. Which in most cases people don't. Some people do. Maybe they're off the grid. Maybe they're really, particular about having power during outages. But most people don't have backup generators, especially in most developed areas where the infrastructure is good, right? The power outages are infrequent and they're short-lived, right? The power might go down for a couple hours, but you're back up. So T-Mobile, welcome to the big leagues. I'm happy to see that they're adding the power. It's very good. I don't know what took so long. I'm not sure why they thought this was ancillary. This should have been something done a long time ago. And like I said, welcome to the big leagues. Good job to step up and finally get this done, T-Mobile. Because honestly, if we were to see more and more of these outages and these rolling blackouts hurt the T-Mobile network, I think the FCC was going to really come down on them. So they had to do it. I think it made business sense. It makes sense from the fact that you want your customers to be happy as well. So, yeah, to me, it was a slam dunk. They had to do it. All right, so that wraps up the audio version of the podcast. Thank you all for listening in, and we will catch you all on the next episode. Peace. And the YouTube side, you guys got my undivided attention. All right, so I'll probably do a video on it just to kind of put a bow on it. And not everybody watches the podcast or listens to the podcast. So, I'll cover that topic. And then there's one more thing that I'll discuss on that video. So y'all can expect that tomorrow early in the morning. I'll have that launched for you. Hey, thanks, my daily side. Appreciate you, man. See you guys in the live chat there. Yeah. RFK Tech in the house. He said, so glad I dumped Skunk. That's funny. Thanks, man. Appreciate the kind words. Tito, yeah. Vids for fun. Also with the yeah. Appreciate you guys. Hashtag fire aid. Fire raid? I don't know what that is. Is that like a thing I should know about? Never heard of it, man. Story time was nice. Now it's bedtime. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate you watching, man. Take her easy if you end up leaving. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Ricky. Yeah, that Firewolf raid, that's not a hashtag in here. If anybody hashtags Firewolf raid, let's get him out of here. Mods, go ahead, do your thing. Form Voltron. If you see any hashtag that is not mine, so it could be hashtag yeah, it could be hashtag Ravioli Gang, hashtag Mod Squad. Any SMT based hashtag is cool. Anything non-SMT hashtag based, get them out of here. Form Voltron. Hope I don't break my new webcam tomorrow with my ugly face. Man, it's good that you're stepping up your game, man. The things you got to do, whenever you're a creator, you got to improve your audio, you got to improve your video. Always, Yeah, get him, yeah. Yeah, Form Voltron. Get him out of here. Yeah, get him out. What's up, Joshua? Good to see you, man. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, hashtag Form Voltron. Yeah, I don't think they know about the SMT Nation, man. Don't deviate from the hashtags now. What? Mushroom time? Technoid, get out of here. I'm gonna bounce you out of here, bro. I read 720p don't work with green screen well. So what do you got to use 1080p, I'm guessing? D728, what's up, buddy? Michael says T-Mobile needs to fear more than the FCC. They should fear the CPUC even more. You think so, Mike? I don't know, man. They're trying to dip and dodge that. Trying to send... What supporters are you talking about, War Firewolf Studios? Oh, is that your community? Is that what that is? Oh, my bad, bro. I didn't know what that was. I thought you were trying to spam, dude. I didn't know. Yeah, man, you're welcome to spread the love, and if you're a creator, I wasn't sure about what was going on there. SMT Nation, check out Firewolf Studios, support him. He's a supporter of the SMT channel. Please do show the love. Appreciate you. Hey, take it easy, Corby. See you, man. Form Voltron. Hashtag Form Voltron. What's up, Brennan? Oh, I'm not sure what that is. Gigantor? That's a character, isn't it? Let's see here. Yeah, Sean, the iPhone 12 topic I covered, man. You'll have to watch it on replay. No biggie, though. No biggie. Tiramisu for the win. Nice, Jose. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Firewolf Studios, follow me on Twitter, man. I'll give you a promote, too, man. Definitely. Absolutely. I will promote you on the Twitter too. I'll give you a tweet. Sure. If I can help you, man, I do not mind. For anybody out there that's a new or a small time creator and you're looking for some help, if you want me to maybe help you with a promotional tweet or co-sign you or something on Twitter, I don't mind. That doesn't take much to do, man. I help out if I can. I know I'm not a big creator or anything, but if that could help you, I would definitely do it for you. Anyways, I think that's it because I got to get to bed. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Do check out some of the links in the description box before you get to going. All the links that you guys see there on the left-hand part of the screen there, the links are in the description box. But let's go ahead and wrap things up here. So, yeah, thank you all for being a part of the SMT Nation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the videos, liking them, rating them, all that good stuff. You guys are the best. Hashtag 2LiveCrew if you were here during the live broadcast. Hashtag Replay Crew if you're watching this after it was recorded. Hashtag Ravioli Gang for those watching this at dinner or, you're hungry and you're ready to eat. And hashtag Mod Squad if you bopped somebody out of here earlier today. So big shout out to you all. Let's also do A big shout out to the SMT YouTube channel. If you somehow got recommended here, it's your first time here, consider subscribing and activating the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload from the SMT. Check out the Patreon page, link in the description box. If you like what we're doing here on the YouTube channel and you want to kick it up a notch, we've got that for you there. Second level stuff when it comes to wireless network tech. And that's pretty much it. Thank you all for being here to watch. I hope you join us for the next podcast. Hopefully we'll have one all set for you by Friday. We hope to see you there, and looking forward to it. So have a great rest of the week. I'm the SMT, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace! Yeah!